Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Food School Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast on a mission to inspire a world where food makes us better. Guys, I hope you really enjoy our high intensity interval training episode with Dr. Martin Gibala that we did yesterday. It was the episode for those of you guys who value their time, who want to be fit and train regularly, but you don't necessarily want to spend a lot of time doing that, even though you do want to stay fit, to get all the health benefits, to stay possibly lean, to maybe maintain or lose weight, to get cognitive benefits from exercise. But again, you value your time, you don't have a lot of time to train. So in that episode, we are talking about exercise snacks and exercise for people who want to be more like athletes, but you aren't professional athletes, but you do want to maybe look like one or perform like one. So all about high intensity interval training from one of the best people out there who knows their stuff about high intensity interval training and interval training in general for health and fitness. So please tune into that episode. Today we're talking about intermittent fasting. Guys, I just finished my intermittent fasting certification. What it says on my certificate actually is coaching dietary strategies, how to coach intermittent fasting. So basically, guys, now I'm really qualified and certified to help you to apply intermittent fasting for health or weight reasons, or maybe because it is an easier way for you to manage your food, your eating habits. Like for me, why I personally love intermittent fasting so much, guys, I'm not really doing it for any health or fitness or weight benefits so much as I'm doing it for convenience. I just don't like to think about my food many times a day. I like to have this main meal of the day where I eat a lot of vegetables, a lot of protein-rich foods, a lot of different nutrient-rich foods. And the rest of the day, after my workout, I might have some fruit. I might have some easy, simple source of protein, like maybe a can of tuna or sardines or some eggs. And then, some maybe kefir, that is a fermented product that is super good for our gut and has quite a good amount of protein. But anyhow, so I have this foods, and then I just have one meal a day, and then I like to have a lot of hours without food where my gut has the chance to rebuild itself, to recover, and I just feel the best this way. And I mentally and physically and energy wise, plus, I empty a lot of mind space that is usually occupied by thoughts of food. Now I can do other stuff and work on different projects and helping other people to do intermittent fasting for maybe weight loss goals or performance goals. So, there are many things you can use intermittent fasting for, but I guess the main two best reasons to use intermittent fasting is when you want to improve your gut health and when you want to work out some longevity protocols that you incorporate into your lifestyle on a regular basis. You want to live longer and disease-free. So intermittent fasting might help with that when applied in the right way. Also, it can be a great way to lose weight and maintain weight. So for those reasons, people usually do intermittent fasting. Some people also use it to get super lean, but that requires a little bit more fine-tuning. It's not like you just don't eat more hours. No, if you are someone who is interested in building muscle, in maintaining really a lean physique, then intermittent fasting has to be very well formulated with timing of your training and your nutrients intake, and then overall quality of your diet and nutrient density. If there is anything I learned about intermittent fasting, taking this certification, my skills to another level, is that intermittent fasting for complex goals like reaching certain body fat percentage, it's also a complex task. You can't just do whatever. Then also what I learned, intermittent fasting is not for everyone. And also intermittent fasting is not the only way to get lean, healthy, and fit. So you don't have to do it if it doesn't work for you. Also, intermittent fasting might not be the best strategy for you for your specific goal. And again, it's not for everyone. For example, if you have a history of food issues or disordered eating, when you either eat a lot or eat a little, where you are on a diet or binging, if you have history like this, or if you have some metabolic disorder or issue, especially with your blood sugar, that might not be the right thing for you to do. If you are a high performing top level, training really a lot athlete, your body might require more nutrients and more often than most intermittent fasting protocols allow. So again, that might not be for you. And of course, if you are pregnant, if you are breastfeeding, if you are a teenager or adolescent, if you are still developing, that might not be for you. If you, again, have a lot of pre-existing conditions, intermittent fasting might not be for you. It might help you with some gut health issues. But if you are metabolically ill and you have a lot of issues, then intermittent fasting might just not be the right thing from the start. So if there is anything, again, you want to understand about intermittent fasting, it's not for everyone. It's not the best strategy for everyone. And there are other ways to reach your health and fitness goals besides intermittent fasting. Although I must mention, guys, that some essential fasting, it got to be done if you are a human being interested in longevity, long-term gut health, and all the health consequences that come from good gut health or not so good gut health, right? So essential fasting, we shouldn't be eating right before going to bed. They recommend more and more these days, 3 hours before bed, we should not be eating to allow our gut to work through that last meal and work on recovery while we sleep more. And then also not having food for 12 hours a day. That's a good practice that is necessary for every human being. Otherwise, from all the evidence we have, it seems that there are negative health consequences that will follow, not like tomorrow or in a month or even in a year, but in 20, 30 years from today, where you might start experiencing certain metabolic issues, or your blood sugar might be out of balance, or your blood lipids, or something else might be happening with your metabolism just because you haven't been having this 12-hour not eating window every day. So this is like essential fasting, and what you do on top of that, that's got to be defined and guided by your goals, by your lifestyle, by your personality. If you're someone, for example, who love the idea of skipping dinner, but it's the only time that you have with your family to share food, and it might be very important, not just for your well-being, but the well-being of your family, maybe your kids, then maybe it's like early eating is not the thing for you right now. Maybe later when kids grow up, So intermittent fasting, it's not just about physical stuff. It's also about our deeper health, our mental, emotional, social health. So you want to take all of this into account in order to be sure that this specific fasting protocol is for you or not for you. Because at the end of the day, no matter what kind of strategy you choose, be that intermittent fasting or something else, it shouldn't take away from your life. It should add to your life, guys, on all levels. And now let's talk about the signals or when do you know when intermittent fasting isn't working for you? Like maybe right now you've been doing something for a while, maybe 16/8, maybe alternate day fasting, maybe time restricting feeding early or delayed, whatever that might be. If you've been doing it for a while and you start experiencing the next things, then you might reconsider that specific intermittent fasting protocol, if it's really a good thing. So if you start to sleep very light, you start waking up a lot, and in general, your sleep quality is just not good. You know that you wake up and you aren't feeling refreshed, you're having troubles falling asleep, staying asleep. So intermittent fasting for a lot of people done in certain way might increase cortisol hormones and change hormonal balance in other ways, in the ways that don't benefit your health. If you start thinking all the time about food, if you start obsessing about food, guys, like when the next time you're gonna eat, what you're gonna eat, if you start really eating a lot, like to the point that you feel sick and you feel uncomfortable, and then you have to like sit for 2-3 hours not doing much just because you had this huge meal after your fasting. Now this usually doesn't add to the quality of your life or your gut health. What else? If you use intermittent fasting as a way to excuse eating a lot of junk and not having well-balanced, nutrient-dense diet, then intermittent fasting is not a good strategy for that. If you're using intermittent fasting, guys, to, well, we're talking actually about science, so let me stay focused. So if you're having any of those, or your energy fluctuates a lot, like when you don't eat, you feel low on energy all the time, or your mood is down all the time when you aren't eating, when you're in your fasting window, then what you're doing right now might not be working for you. And you might reconsider it. And it doesn't mean that no intermittent fasting works for you. It just means that the way you're doing it might not be the right way to do it. Maybe there are other ways, like there are, time restricting feeding every day. There is a weekly or monthly fast. There are fast when you eat later or earlier. There are alternate day fast. You can do intermittent fasting only 2-3 times a week. You don't have to do it every day at specific hours, guys. Also, if you're someone for whom breakfast means a lot, you don't have to skip it to do intermittent fasting. You can eat dinner a little bit earlier. If you're a dinner person, then maybe skip or delay breakfast. And again, you don't have to do it like every day or every other day. You can find the schedule that works for you. Or maybe you're just not going to be doing intermittent fasting, at least not any of the advanced protocols, and you just eat a little bit less on some days or eat a little bit more if you're trying to lose weight, right? If you're just trying to eat healthier, then you don't really have to do intermittent fasting. Just do the essential fasting, like 12 hours a day between, 7 p.m. and 7 a.m. You don't have any food. That's enough. And then if you go to bed at 10 p.m., then you have that 3-hour not eating window, and that's going to be enough. So there are so many ways to do it. And before doing any sort of intermittent fasting protocols, because you want to really understand your reasons. Why do you think that intermittent fasting is the right thing for you to do? Like, why do you think like that might be the right thing for you to do? Really, like, sit down with yourself and write down those reasons. And if you are really excited about trying this out, then go ahead and try it and make sure that you measure all of the aspects of your progress, your mood, your energy levels, how your eating habits are affected, your mental, your emotional health, all of this is important. Your sleep, your energy levels, guys, all of this, right? If you are trying this and you are seeing that these are not affected in a positive way, then maybe you need to choose a different strategy. But again, you need to first and foremost understand why you're doing this thing. If you're doing intermittent fasting to live forever, guys, nobody really showed that that is the thing, that it will prolong your life. There are no studies showing that some advanced intermittent fasting protocol will help you to live long. If you are a professional athlete and you train many hours a day, intermittent fasting might not be the thing for you. You are already doing a lot of autophagy and recycling and putting a lot of kinds of stresses on your cells. So fasting might not be needed here, because research shows that fasting and exercise create very similar conditions on a cellular level. So fasting might not be a thing necessary for you, even though, again, I want to repeat that not eating before going to bed, that's a good thing, no matter whether you're an athlete or not, and not eating for 12 hours a day. But beyond that, it might not be necessary for you. Again, why are you doing this, guys? Ask yourself many, many times. And then based on your goal, on your lifestyle, on your life circumstances, choose to test one of the protocols that sound good for you. And tomorrow, by the way, guys, we're going to talk about all these different fasting protocols, the most effective ones for different goals, and also our favorite ones in Precision Nutrition Academy. Which ones work the best, seems to work the best for a lot of people. So we'll talk about that tomorrow. Today, I just want you to sit down with yourself. If you've been considering intermittent fasting, so sit down and ask yourself, like, why do I think that intermittent fasting might work for me? And if it were to work for me, when would I know if I succeeded, or if I succeed on a regular basis, if I'm moving forward, if I'm making progress, or things aren't changing or getting worse? Like, you gotta also understand those indicators. How would you know if it's getting better? How are you gonna measure it? You need to understand this. Otherwise, no matter what you do, you'll not be able to tell whether it's working or not. And then it means you'll not really be able to figure out how to make progress continuously and sustainably, right? So why are you doing this, and how are you going to measure your progress, your positive progress or lack of? So think about those things, and then think about different fasting protocols you'd like to try out. And tomorrow we'll talk about your choices, like what are some of the best, most proven and most practiced protocols that work for different goals and work for different people. And then when you hear those different protocols and for whom they work the best, you might, again, look at the options you have and choose to try one of the protocols for any of the goals you have. So stay tuned for that, guys. And today, just ask yourself, why am I considering intermittent fasting? And how would I know whether I'm succeeding or not, whether I'm making progress or not? And also think about different options that could work for you. And tomorrow we'll dig deeper into different kinds of fasting protocols for different goals and different kinds of people. So stay tuned for that, guys. And till next time, eat better daily and think about your fasting, guys. So thank you for listening. Please do share this episode. Please learn together. Teach it to someone else who might be into intermittent fasting or considering that. So think together about why you are considering intermittent fasting. How would you know whether you're succeeding or not? And think about different options of intermittent fast. How you think it might work for you. So this is your homework for today. Stay tuned tomorrow for all kinds of most working and popular intermittent fast or ways to do intermittent fasting. So stay tuned for that. and eat better daily. Thank you, guys.